Well, here I am again. Right there. Actually, I'm over here. The camera is right there. Here you are. Here I am. God damn it. And I got in the mail today a package. And it contains count them, two pen pencil combination pens that I bought on eBay. Now, let's just see if in fact they look as nice as I imagine them to look. So I open up the thing here. I know that the camera is not showing you the process here, but now this is a very nicely packaged package. And as you can see, the pieces of plastic that will soon be in the lungs, whatever they have, of fish and whales and dolphins and those things that wherever this will end up. Now there's going to be, evolution will make the next thing that will grow on this planet or in the ocean will be things that eat plastic bubble wrap. Because that's what has to survive. So, some of the fish will thrive on this. The other fish, or clams, or whatever they are, will thrive on this sort of tissuey, gossamer plastique styrofoam. Well, there's one of them. Okay, where's the other one? There's the other one. Well, I will say that this person packaged these things as if these were the last Fabergé eggs that ever existed. And so the first thing I want to tell you is I am very pleased that they are as large as they are, because it's hard to tell sometimes how big they are going to be. The least important part for me is the pencil, but it looks like the pencil mechanism works on the red one. Looks like I need a new pressure bar in this one. And it looks like the pressure bar, the pencil mechanism works on the bronze and black one. So far, so good. Now, all of you know by now that it's the nib. It isn't the songbirds that make the it isn't the something it's the nib. I have to rewrite the words to that song rather than it's the girl, it's the nib. It isn't the paddle that makes the canoe go. It's not the birds that make it's the girl, which I guess for some people that's what it is. It is the girl. For me, it never quite worked out that way. Rarely worked out that it's the guy either, but it is. If it were a pen we were talking about, if it was a nib, I know that song. That resonates with me. So, nice nib. Looks like it has had some slight damage in its life. It's a little bent. And it's a number 8 warranted nib. Now, number 8 warranted nibs turn out to be like a number 5 normal good company nib. But what's nice about this, it's a very solid, fat pen, and I really quite like it. It's heavy. It's also very heavy. And it would have, when there's lead in the pencil, it would write. So yes on this. That's going to be a keeper. That's going to end up right. Maybe it'll be next to my desk here, next to my other pen pencil combinations. Or maybe it'll be in another drawer with something else. Okay, cross your fingers. Here's the second one. And again, this nib is similar in size and everything. It's a little bit finer. This one doesn't look like it has had some trauma to it. It seems to be fine. So I will say YES to this particular set, or this particular pair. It's not a set. There's a little, little chip out of the cap right there, but that's something that I love. It's like a fencing scar on a German. If you had a German boyfriend, now this is in pre-World War I days, they needed to have that fencing scar. That was what they were required to be considered handsome, because you had to have that, slash down the side of your cheek, hopefully. I mean, it would look funny if it went across your nose or above your eye or, through your lips, but it was, if it was sort of in this general area, I think that was where they wanted their scar to be. So, fencing scar. So this has its little fencing scar there, or whatever the pen equivalent would be to that particular thing. The cognate to the fencing scar would be the chip on the cap. Oh, now this is an issue. I don't like this. The cap, falls right off the back. It doesn't on this one. This slides on and it's held tightly by the whatever. Now, is it the inner cap that's hitting? Maybe this is missing its inner cap. No, it has its inner cap. Huh. Well, this is a minor flaw. I mean, it is a flaw. It's a flaw that will happen only in use, that I'll have to remember that this is loose. See, now this these two pens side by side, we have two problems in the pen. One of them is a cosmetic flaw, that happened in its life after it existed for a while. Somehow it got jolted off the table and knocked onto the floor and got this little dent or little cut somehow. This one, it's like this one had some sort of genetic issue, which is why it's not working. It seems less an accident afterwards, but a problem at birth or during its what's the word I want? Gestation? That's not it. During its embryological development, that it somehow did not grow in stature. Let me try something here. See, now that fits, that stays on. So what's happening here, folks, is this part, maybe this is longer and it's hitting the back of the cap so it doesn't go all the way in. I'm not sure. I'd have to get out my measuring devices to see what the issue is. Does this stay on here? Well, see, this doesn't want to stay on there either very well. So there's a problem with this cap. And the cap's problem, because it's kind of invisible even, is more of a, in my mind, it's more of a problem than the one that's visible. Now, I know this makes absolutely no sense to any one of you, and it doesn't even make sense to me because I haven't studied it enough to understand why I have this feeling. But I have this feeling, and there's nothing I can do about that. But anyway, I wanted to share with you the joy of opening a package and finding two pens that are quite lovely, even with their problems. They make me smile. Both of them. There was a neighbor of mine who used to say that, both of them, rather than both of them. Yeah, I went to both of them. Both of them. Which movie did you see? I went to see both of them. Both of them. So, there you go. That is on its way to being repaired. Here I was going to put this on the back to keep it stable, but that, as we know, there's an issue. And what I'm doing is gently rocking out the section from the barrel so I can attach a new sack on the back of them, because as you can see, the sack, well, as you will soon see, the sack is all in grungy wet now because I dipped it. Because I dipped it is why it's wet. Yeah, we'll do it this way. Well, this isn't the right way to do it either, but see, this is pushing out the pressure bar, which I didn't want to do because I've broken that, but chances are this would have been broken anyway. So it needs a new pressure bar, which is what this is. It's because it's broken. So, and it needs a new sack, which is what this was. You see, this is what's left of the rubber sack. It almost looks like it's some carapace of a dung beetle or something, or the decayed bicycle tire of little tiny people that live in tree stumps. This is part of their bicycle. I know I haven't been on my medication lately, so you just have to excuse my yammerings if that's what I'm doing. Yeah, see, this one, I believe the pressure bar has to be replaced here as well. Let's just do a, see, that one too has to be fixed. But that's okay. These kind of pressure bars, they're called J-bars. They're the most common, and they were used by companies that were second or third tier companies. And that's what these pens are. These pens do not even have a maker name on them because no one wanted to take responsibility. Brand X, except it doesn't even say Brand X on it. But even Brand X pens, they could be made well, or they could have been made poorly. Generally, this pen is fine. I think the problem with this cap issue not staying on the back is that the guy at the lathe, or it could have been a girl at the lathe, when they were lathing something down, they just, let it lathe just a little more than it should have. Or something like that. Someone was not paying as much attention as they could have. So anyway, I will fix these up and I'll do a drawing with them when I'm done, because today, other than this, really, today has been relatively unproductive for me, and I really have to, you know, do that one productive thing, one creative thing. Most of the things I did today were uncreative. They had to be done, but it wasn't very creative. So now I'm going to put sacks in these pens, put pressure bars in them, and I will do a drawing with them right here on camera for you to see. Actually, both these nibs are okay. They're not great for calligraphy, but they'll be fun for drawing. And I'll even put lead in the back. You can watch. We'll fill this one with red ink and maybe this one with black ink, and we'll have another little battle of the pens, a little dueling. We'll have a duel, since we're talking about fencing scars. Wherever the guy went, I'll draw fencing, people fencing. How about that? Swashbucklers, swashbuckling. You know, one guy will be the bad guy, one guy will be the good guy. I don't know who's going to win, but probably the bad guy, because that's what happens in the real world. In the world of fiction, good people come out on top, but in the real world it's the bad people that win. So I'm going to tell you who's going to win. I don't know which one of these pens is going to portray the bad guy, but we'll figure that out. So check back shortly.